My name is David Lamotte. I'm the head of knowledge management at IFD. Back in 2018, I was part of the ISO30401 working group under Moriah's leadership. In this section, I will explore Chapter 6 to Chapter 10 of the ISO standard. I will present what is at stake in each chapter and some of the main requirements to achieve compliance with the standard. Finally, I will explain why, altogether, these are key. A. To establish a management system which is integrated with other functions, and B. To set the ground for continuous improvement. So now, let's have an overview of the different chapters. Before going to Chapter 6 to 10, I'd like to briefly go back to Chapter 5 of leadership that Molly presents in another lesson. It details the requirement for top management to demonstrate leadership and commitments with respect to the knowledge management system. That involves demonstrating commitment, establishing policy, but also assigning roles, responsibility, and authorities. In other words, accountability. Chapter 6 deals with planning. It looks in two directions. First, the action to address risk and opportunities and give assurance that knowledge management system can meet expectations, but also achieve continual improvement. We shall come back to this point later. The second point is that it sets KM objective, qualitative and quantitative, and plans how to achieve them. Chapter 7 reassesses the requirement for an organization to provide adequate resources. These include sufficient capacities, resources, and competencies, making sure everybody understands what is required, who is in charge, i.e. the awareness, but also the communication to deliver the message. Plus, finally, making sure everything is documented. Chapter 8 deals with operation. This is the how. It states that the organization should plan, implement, and control the processes that are needed to meet the requirement. But it also needs to control the changes, whether planned or unexpected, that may occur over the time. Chapter 9 deals with performance evaluation, which involves ongoing monitoring, measurement, analysis, and evaluation, but also control through planned internal audit, and last but not least, the management review. Finally, Chapter 10 clarifies what is required to safeguard improvement. Basically, take action to address non-conformity and correct it, and demonstrate this is not a one-time effort, and that the organization fosters continual improvement. Now that we have an overview of what is required, let's make a step backward. What is striking with these requirements is that they sound hardly new to any person who is already familiar with the management system. No matter which is the discipline, quality management, security management, health and safety management, it is always required to secure planning, organize monitoring, and secure the support of leadership. These form the pillar of a reliable management system. That's how our knowledge management framework becomes compatible with other management systems. This is the condition to integrate knowledge management with other disciplines. And this is exactly what the introduction stresses. Quote, KM support existing processes and development strategy, and therefore, quote, need to be integrated with other organizational functions. That is the first key to understand why implementing the standards can become a game changer. It provides a roadmap for an integrated knowledge management system, hence building bridges with other disciplines and cementing organizational coherence. And as we all agree, this is the critical condition for business effectiveness. However, there is another aspect which is equally important to appreciate the reach of these 6 chapters. Altogether, they provide a framework for systemic value creation and continuous improvement. Let's see how. So, let's shuffle our boxes a little bit and present in a different way. First, we have the leadership, which is core to the process. It secures resources, creates accountability, but more importantly, it provides a direction to travel. support, and operation will complete the picture, thus establishing a robust operational framework, and then start the rollout with planning, performance evaluation, and improvement to tie everything together, address the gaps, and make sure everything is already aligned with other business requirements. Presented this way, the sequences can be summarized in 4 different steps: planning, doing, checking, and reacting. All together, they form the management system that we discussed just earlier, which apply to a specific discipline, knowledge management. And here we see how the different pieces that form the chapter of the standards come together. Chapter 4.1 and 4.2 provide the input. Chapter 4.3, 4.4, and 4.5 establish the perimeters of our management system. And finally, 4.1 set the target, in other words, the expected outcomes. The reason why it is important but also instructive to understand this PDCA model is that it illustrates how eventually our ISO30401 requirement leads to continuous improvement. As we know, PDCA deals with continuous improvement with the objective of being more effective and more efficient through successive iteration of the PDCA loop. The act phase consists in applying mitigation, correction, identifying check, which is roughly what chapter improvement calls for, and consequently, this will involve new planning, adaptive resources, etc., etc., which is also why performance evaluation is critical. Finally, we need a quality assurance to avoid going back, in other words, securing the progress. ISO30401 provides that way jump. It allows consolidation, which is ultimately why standardization is so important. So now you have all the keys to understand how to implement a robust, reliable, but also sustainable knowledge management system, and why it shouldn't be approached as a standalone initiative. Thank you.